If you're ready to get rid of confusion, fear, doubt, worry, any negative emotion, and you're ready for that confidence, that love, that peace, that joy, that expectancy of awesome, great things, then this video is for you. We're going to be talking about how you can overcome darkness with light and how you can overcome hate with love. So to dive right in, I want to first start talking about darkness and light. What does it mean in this video? Well, darkness represents the negative stuff in life. Doubt, fear, worry, all of that garbage that we all go through at times. We're going to call that darkness. And that's really even what the Bible talks about, darkness. It's the wrong things, the painful things. And we're also going to be talking about light. That's love, peace, joy, confidence, clarity on certain things. That's light. Well, how do we overcome darkness with light? First off, think about walking into a room. When you walk into a room, what happens? You flip on a light, the darkness automatically goes away. That's as hard as this is. Think about flipping on the light in you. And when you do this, the darkness automatically goes away. So when we do this, I want you, again, to think about how painful it is and why we shouldn't do it. So let's start with the scripture. Ephesians 5:11 says, "Take no part in the worthless deeds of evil and darkness. Instead, expose them." Well, when God tells us something like this, like take no part in the worthless deeds, let's stop right there. Take no part. Don't take part in it. That means walk away from it, of the worthless deeds of evil and darkness. Again, what's darkness? All the negative stuff. Don't take part in it. What happens when you start sharing gossip? What starts happening when you start talking about negative stuff? You're participating in it. Don't participate means no. Shine your light in that situation. Expose, and then it goes on and says, instead expose them. Expose them doesn't mean you have to go out and tell everyone about them. It means shine your light in the situation. And if it's appropriate, of course, you can go tell people about it. You can expose it if in your heart you know that's what you need to do. But in this video, we're going to be talking about you expose it by shining light, and then automatically the darkness goes away. So I want you to think about hate versus love. And it's really powerful. First off, understand that we have the choice. You have the choice, so do I, we all do. Whether we give love, we receive love. Whether we give hate, we receive hate. Completely up to us. And I want to go back to maybe an example or two. But I remember when someone very close to me who was married for maybe 20 plus years at this point, maybe even longer, they started attending a new church. And you would think this wouldn't happen at a church, but it did. The women at that church were talking to the woman in this relationship, and they were saying, your husband isn't perfect. He's not doing this and this and this. And I knew both, and some of the things they said, they were right. But the reality is the women saying that were in bad relationships. They were getting ready to get a divorce. They were focused on a lot of the negative. They were shining darkness into it, or not even shining it. They were just focused on the negative. And this person started complaining and started focusing on all the negative in their relationship, and started for the first time in that entire relationship thinking about getting divorced. That's the opposite. That's really talking about the negative. Well, let's talk about love. Again, we have our choice. How does love work in a situation? I'm going to use an example, a very famous one, Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash, as you may know, very popular country singer. He's no longer with us and been around. He was around for decades. Well, he had problems with drug abuse and alcohol, and he just had addictions. And you know what everyone said, and what the word is on that, and just by reading about this, his love for June Carter, and more importantly, her love for him, helped him break free of all of his addictions. And he went on to have a great career when he was faltering and getting ready to crash and burn. Love will absolutely change everything. So I want you to think about your own situation. Are you shining light into someone else's life? Are you shining light into your situation? Or are you focused on the darkness, the problems? Again, whatever you feed grows, and whatever you starve dies. So feed what you want to grow. Feed the light. So how do we do this? Here's one of the major things you can do. You can control your reaction. There's going to be things that happen to us all throughout our entire lives. We're going to have people betray us. We're going to try things that don't work out. We're going to have people treat us wrong. There's 100 or hundreds, or probably more accurate, thousands and thousands of negative stuff that will happen to us. You get to control how you respond. That's controlling your reaction. So if you want to shine light into that situation, don't get angry. Take a few steps back. Control how you respond. Think about it before you speak. And if you have to count to 10 or 10,000 or wait for 10 weeks, do whatever you need to. Because if you respond negatively, you're just feeding that situation. You're adding fuel to the fire, so to speak. What you want to do is make sure that you respond in the appropriate way. And if someone said something that's very hurtful for you or to you, understand they probably have pain in them. And when someone has pain in them, they give it away. We can't give away something we don't have. So if you have pain, you give it away. So maybe they jumped at you or said something really negative and it hurt you really bad. Well, take a minute, step back, look at it from a whole different angle. Maybe that came from people in their life. Maybe someone did that to them. Many times, again, we repeat what was done to us. So if you look at it from a different angle and you respond differently, it can change everything. When someone does something negative, there's, bad, you just had something fail. I don't care what it is. You can also look for the gold. Find the good in that. Speak positively. Again, what you feed grows, what you starve dies. So start speaking the good. Like, well, at least we learned this lesson. And you can say, if we did it differently, maybe this would change. How can we do it differently? Start asking different questions, get different answers. Instead of looking at the negative, start focusing on the positive. It'll change everything. That's shining light into the situation. How about small acts of kindness? And I like this from the movie Evan Almighty. So Evan Almighty in that movie is said the ark. And if you remember, he was building an ark and he got this big long beard that wouldn't go away and all this other stuff happened. Silly movie, but I really like this part of it. They basically said an ark, A-R-K, is acts of random kindness. And you know what Evan Almighty did in that? Is he helped a dog. He helped people. He started doing some things for the right reasons. Do you know that when you do small acts of kindness to someone, that's shining a light into their situation? Instead of looking at someone if they're down and out, maybe they're living on the streets, you could judge them. And maybe what you're judging is right, maybe not. But what if you helped them? What if you did something small? That could change everything for them. That's how we can shine light into a negative situation. That's putting love into it instead of hate. Now again, hate, and we all know, like the example I used before about people and their husbands, we all know if we feed the hate, we feed the negative, we're going to get more of that. Another thing that you can do, that we all can do, is walk in faith. We can focus on, what? God knows what's going on. He's here. He has our best interest at heart. And if we start walking in that and say, Lord, will you turn this around? Will you show me how I should respond? What do I need to do? Trusting that you're going to find that nugget, trusting that, some good is going to come out of this, especially if you're looking for it. And if you start walking in faith, do you know that, again, that's what you're feeding. That's what is going to grow in that. Trusting other people, trusting yourself, walking in faith can transform a situation. So another thing I want you to think about, excuse me, but are the personal benefits you get by doing this. When you shine your light into a situation or you respond with love, what do? What you're doing for yourself is you're getting it back. You're getting that peace back. You're getting that joy back. You're getting that love. When you give love away, do you know that you're getting love right then and there? As you give it away, you're experiencing it. Because you have to have it in you to give it away. As you're doing that, it makes you feel more peaceful, makes you feel more loved. It does a tremendous amount for your success by just responding with love, responding with light. You can also become an example to other people. What if you reframed the situation and you said, I'm going to now focus on how I can help other people that are watching me? So let's step back for a minute and understand this. People are watching you. You have the people around you that are close or maybe even at a distance, but they're watching how you respond. They're watching if you're treating people right. You may not realize it, but it's happening all the time. So if you can take a step back and say, I'm going to show people, even if you don't know if anyone's watching or not, but I'm going to show other people how to respond. And doing it for the greater good. Doing it so you can be a role model to those people closest to you. That's just another way to reframe it, and it can help you tremendously on, again, putting love and light into that situation. So I want you to think about your situation today, tomorrow, reflect, identify areas that maybe you have not been so positive, maybe you've been negative, and you're responding to people or situations in a poor way, that you're not really shining light, you're agreeing with people, maybe you're adding fuel to the fire. Get clear. You can't change anything until you take time to self-reflect. So reflect on what you're doing right, reflect on what you're doing wrong, reflect on how you can improve, and you're going to improve if you decide to take action on it. And the main takeaway I want you to get from today's video is make the choice to respond with love and light in every situation. Be that light for other people. And again, you have a decision. It is a choice. You can be that light. And when someone says, well, I don't really love that person. Do you know love's not a feeling? Love is a choice. Responding with the right words, the kind words, helping someone is a choice. That's all it really is. And you get to decide. If you decide in advance, there's a very good chance that you're going to do it. If you wait until that situation comes up, you know what? Who knows how you're going to go. But if you in advance say, I don't care what happens today, I'm going to treat people the right way. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to look for the good. I am going to shine light and love into every situation, every relationship that I have. You know what? The chance of you doing that goes up dramatically. So put this in the front of your mind, the back of your mind, and if you think this short video will help someone, then you know what? Share it with someone. If you want more content from us, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And as always, I wish you an awesome, awesome day. And remember to expect success. Thanks, everyone.